Chapter 22, Foreign Policy and Defense. Our learning objectives are to describe the goals and development of United States foreign policy. The goals of foreign policy. Foreign policy guides the nation's relations with other countries. Principal goals of American foreign policy include preserve the security of the United States, maintain trade and preserve access to natural resources, work for world peace, aid democratic nations and help create democracies, and provide help for victims of natural disasters. In the early years, the nation's leaders followed a path of isolationism. In 1823, the Monroe Doctrine ended the isolationism. By the 1890s, the United States had become a world power. The United States became involved in foreign wars in 1898, 1917, and 1941. After World War II, the United States struggled with the Soviet Union in the Cold War, leading to a costly arms race between the two superpowers. The United States adopted a policy known as containment to keep Soviet communism from expanding its power. The Truman Doctrine in 1947 outlined the Marshall Plan, providing economic aid to nations threatened by totalitarian regimes. The United States fought two wars that were a consequence of containment. The Korean War, fought between 1950 and 1953, and the Vietnam War, fought between 1964 and 1973. And in 1989, the Soviet Union collapsed, splitting into Russia and 14 other separate nations. This ended the Cold War and changed the political environment of the world. In the years after the Cold War, the United States sent troops to Iraq, Somalia, Haiti, and the former Yugoslavia in order to protect American trade interests, encourage democracy, and advance human rights. In the Persian Gulf War, the United States defended Kuwait against Iraq, protected American oil interests in the Middle East, and began programs aimed at preventing Iraq from developing weapons of mass destruction. The September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks on the United States led to President George W. Bush's war on terrorism and the preemptive invasion of Iraq. After the initial military deployment, the United States kept a large number of troops in Iraq and pledged long-term aid toward the development of a stable democratic government there.